And here is your host, Joel Walkowski.
Hello, world. For the Props Network, welcome to TPN, the Walk On. Thanks for walking along with us. I am Joel Walkowski, your humble host with the most latex on his face and what can only be described as an extremely counterintuitive thing to do on a podcast. But it is our Halloween episode, and over there, sitting in the John Wilkes, is none other than our producer extraordinaire, Brian Allen Mitchell.
Hey-o, hey-o. Praise the Lord. And to you, sir, you're very scary.
Is that a costume, or did you find the Lord?
I did find the Lord just yesterday. I was walking down the street, saw this, and here you go. God just gives me to me. And Bane, hello.
Hello. We're picking against the Steelers this week, so we are in the spirit of it.
Oh, man. I just wish Bane did a podcast because, this sounds like really good.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to do an ad read for Stamps.com? Of course. So we have a guest comes on. What are you doing here? Okay, we're having fun.
That's good.
Yeah, you look good, but don't make a habit of it.
Oh, hey now. Take that. I love that.
It is good. I'm a bald man. I have to wear a mask.
Yes.
I only do bald Halloween costumes. It cuts the degree of difficulty, the anxiety about Halloween.
Yeah.
It's easily halved. But wearing a Halloween mask on a podcast... Is it a good idea or a great idea? Put it in perspective for me.
I'm going to put it right in the middle there. Just go to the middle there. I'm like, yes, good for the live stream. For a podcast, I don't know about that, Chuck.
Yeah, and, if you're listening to the podcast, I know you can't see me, so I just want you to close your eyes and visualize.
Close them and visualize.
A guy who just looks really fucking awesome. Because here's the thing about my Bane costume. I look friggin' cool.
You do look cool. That is very true.
Sam, the producer guy who runs the show over here, Mr. Cutler.
Yes.
He's like, hey, why are you being Bane? Isn't that from 7 years ago? Is that not cool? That's like really uncool, right? I was like, nah. That's what makes it cool.
It's vintage.
Yeah, it was a movie that was pretty disappointing.
It was pretty disappointing, but hey, what can you do? They didn't have any betting in it. That's what. That was the problem.
Yeah, enough Batman. I want to see Batman. Yeah, it's a movie about the NHL commissioner. Really disappointing. I'm going to take this off. We got to be freewheeling. I got to use my voice. I kind of lost my voice on Monday, but we're bouncing back.
Did you get some tea? I told you to get some lemon tea. See? Bingo, bongo.
I stopped hitting those one-hitters.
Good. Praise the Lord.
Patio.
The Lord doesn't like one-hitters.
Gotta rest the quarter. I got in that sauna, even though I'm legally prohibited from visiting a sauna by my Props Network employers.
That's fair. It's just protocol, Joel.
Yeah, you can't let, if you're going to go in a sauna, you keep it a secret. You don't let your boss know, and you don't turn in sauna content. That's my lesson.
There you go. Good to know.
But it's an exciting day. I feel like there's a bounce in my step.
Ooh.
Producer Sam, he bounded in the door like a puppy. All is right with the world. The best possible outcome last night. Dodgers winning the World Series.
Woo!
How about that?
That was great. It was great. But Justin Turner, you can stay inside. You can just leave the baseball stadium, okay?
And I think they didn't give him MVP because he had COVID. Because, he kind of turned that game. He had the best argument of any hitter. I know Seager got it.
Oh, yeah, you can't give it to the COVID. You can't give it to the COVID kid. That's just part of the game.
The COVID kid was the MVP, though.
You can't give it to him. You can't have him kissing the trophy. You can't have him licking it.
And they took him out. They brought him back, and they're like, yeah, we're the champs. We don't care about COVID.
Yeah, what Mookie's like, hey, he's part of the team. It's like, he's got a virus.
Yeah, but you know what? Championships are more rare than getting the coronavirus. We all know it's very easy to get.
No,
a championship is very hard to get. I think you got to give that ring the right away there.
Well, put him in a hazmat suit, okay? Give the guy, and you can do anything you want. I'm fine with that, but don't go around just and while there's fans in the stadium. No.
Yeah,
Can we not do that?
It's a really bad idea. They got it over the finish line. The postseason had technically been a success. So they're like, all right, let's trot out the COVID guy now.
Oh, the MLB ringleader. He was just so relieved to have this done. He had his bags packed. You saw he had a book bag and on. He was just wanted to get out of there. He was done with this thing.
Yeah, they wanted to get out of there very quickly. That's why they had Blake Snell get pulled from the mound. And I did bet on the Rays to win the series yesterday afternoon.
It felt good. We had a good talk. We thought this is the story, But
and the most shocking thing is that it hinged on like a bad managerial decision that didn't come from Dave Roberts.
Hey, that's you get lucky. You get lucky sometimes, and you win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean you have a guy who's dealing. You pull him with the biggest stakes, and you pull him a little early. Tampa Bay, they are prisoners to their metrics. They needed to be set free a little bit. It cost them, and that's what you get for listening to a computer.
Hey, computers are good. I love computers.
I know you love computers.
They talk to me.
What are they saying?
They say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "I love Blake Snell." So
okay,
yeah. So
you had the right computer hookups yesterday. You should have gone over to the Tampa Bay dugout. You could have made a few bucks or two.
They have a lot of good iPads with data in there. Too much data. Just play baseball, okay? I don't need to see their hot zones, okay? Just use your brain, know what the person likes, watch some tape from before, and there you go, okay?
Yeah, baseball's a simple game. You advance the runner, you track the pitch. You don't need all that Jimbo Jambo.
Jambo. It's like my dad. You can't even need that Jimbo Jambo. I remember when I was watching baseball, they just spit on the ball. We can't do that now because of COVID. Terrible.
And then this is a fun stat I found. The last time the Dodgers won the World Series, the Cowboys were 2-5.
Yeah.
They had their own one of the only victories was a comeback against Atlanta.
Whoa.
And then the previous Monday, they lost to Arizona on Monday Night Football.
Holy cow.
So
the stars.
Yeah,
friend.
they aligned in this Dodgers World Series, and we needed this just to have peace in the baseball community.
Yeah.
Astros fans were losing their mind.
Of course.
Dodger fans were losing their mind, and now both those fan bases can take their ring and just chill a little bit.
Yeah. And Magic Johnson is probably the happiest person alive. To have two franchises be close to him to win, I mean, that's incredible.
Oh, I just thought you misspoke when you meant to say Magic Johnson is the happiest person because he's alive. Yeah, he really did defy expectations there. Yeah, he must be really grateful. Oh, he figured out how to transcend a plague. Oh, it's also cool his sports teams won.
On the chat, they're like, "What's up with the nun?" Now I just look weird on the stream. Like I'm the one in the costume, and you have the Michael J. Fox Back to the Future look.
What's up, guys?
Stop it! How dare you?
Just tell the people on the stream you're wearing a Ja Rule costume.
Murder. Man, that's fair. Oh, Matt. Oh, on the chat, we got Magic has won 3 titles. You got to add the WNBA title for the LA Sparks.
Yeah, Magic was very clear to point that out. He's an ally, and that was the thing. Magic, his pro career is a little underrated now. Because if you I spent so much time looking at the MJ and LeBron resumes back to back. It's if you make the argument for LeBron, you can also make the argument for Magic.
Yeah. I mean, it's Magic and LeBron. That's what you compare.
Yeah, we talk about that every week. We don't need to get into it now. Sam's gonna yank
That's gonna be an hour right there.
They're both 6'9" and they got great vision.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Magic's having an amazing run. The Dodgers have an amazing run. And my buddy John, friend of the show, we always shout out the Houston Zoo.
Yeah.
We got some tough times coming from the Houston Zoo.
What do you mean?
So John's a big Detroit sports fan.
Yeah.
He's living in Houston. He's taking care of the giraffes. And somewhat Justin Verlander and Kate Upton went in to see the giraffes on his day off.
Oh, what? Why?
They wanted to see the giraffes. Old Johnny wasn't there, and the other keeper didn't even know who it was.
It's always that happens. Like, oh, I don't know, this tall guy who came in, he said he was throwing a baseball somewhere, but I didn't care. That's so sad. Did he take a picture or anything?
I have seen pictures. They were masked up, and I think they got the same treatment I did with those rhinos. Throw a little alfalfa in their mouth, except this time it's 98 miles an hour.
What are you talking about?
When you feed a rhino, you throw alfalfa in its mouth. Everyone knows this.
No,
You guys know how to feed a rhino
No one
alfalfa.
knows that. Okay.
You need more friends at the Houston Zoo, my friend. Boy, someone's really lonely when it comes to zoologic companions.
Yes, and you should be too.
It does suck to hang out with a true animal lover because they'll talk to you about some bird and you'll just be thinking like, I don't care about this bird at all. And then just say, oh, interesting.
It's like, oh, they're listening. That's good. I can't tell them about this cockatoo. Who cares?
Yeah.
Does the bird play a sport? No. That's all that matter.
Yeah, we only care about the Falcons, the Eagles, the Ravens, and the Cardinals.
That's it.
Those are the football birds.
Those are the
cool
football birds.
Yeah. Before we get into like the bet, I think we want to talk about and get into a pretty funny NBA story.
Huh.
The 76ers are going to be such trash.
Yeah, they're just trying to they're doing what the MLB is. Like, we're going numbers. We're going to stick with the numbers. We're going to have a guy like Elton just to be there, like he's going to be our blood, sweat, and tears guy, and then we got the numbers guy.
So this just happened. Like, we're basketball nerds. We're going right into analysis, but basically, last week, the Sixers hired Doc Rivers to be their head coach. Today, they hired Daryl Morey to be their second general manager. They kept their existing general manager who's bad. They brought in one who's good.
Right.
I think the bad general manager still thinks he has a job. It's got to be a real George Costanza dynamic over there.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be sleeping under his desk soon. So.
And here's the deal. Like, Doc Rivers is the coach who doesn't believe in analytics at all.
Yep.
Daryl Morey is only analytics.
That's why you have the filter. That's why you have Elton Brand to be that filter guy. You know, you need what do you call the water filters? Like a bristle? What is that?
A Brita.
Brita. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elton's the Brita of this organization.
You can have experts of culture building, experts of statistics, and you're going to need an unqualified buffoon just sitting right in the middle.
That's what you need. He'll say like one good thing and it'll work for him. But it's never good. You never go coach first and then you go in and back in to get some more front office people. It doesn't work out.
No, you got to just pick one route and stick with it.
Right.
Like, you don't follow three routes on MapQuest. That's what the Sixers are doing.
That's what you just go. You go with your gut. You just do it. Don't try to overthink it, because now Elton might feel someone's looking over my shoulder. I might be out of the job quickly.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be in that job. He's done nothing to qualify himself for that position, and they just kept him on because I think they were afraid to fire him.
Yes, yeah, I would be too. Like, you can't fire a black guy and a good player. It's bad PR, my friend.
You can't fire a black guy who's a good player. That's why Tyronn Lue's so valuable. He could be fired at any point, no problem.
No, yeah, he's good. That's fine. But yeah, it's just bad. It's bad optics. But they're just trying to attempting to build a good front office. But that's probably not going to work. But you just have to gotta let him go.
Should have kept, the man in charge. Trust the process, brothers.
That's what they should have, but they didn't, and it's very upsetting. But also, a team you just can't load up on first-round draft picks and expect them to mold together.
Well, you could if you just picked them so they were complementary in the least, or that their skills went together, and a basketball team was more than just a random assembly of talent, and they'd actually fit together in certain ways where the sum was greater than the whole. But that's not how Philadelphia does basketball, is it?
No, we're just going to stack people on top of each other, and hopefully they figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to get a bunch of the tallest, most athletic dudes. Can any of them create their own shot?
No.
Can any of them shoot? No. Do they like each other?
No.
Can they stop eating ice cream? No.
Of course not.
Joel Embiid.
Ice cream's good. And Joel Embiid is just, he's so disappointing in the playoffs.
But I'm glad Embiid's disappointing. You know why?
Why?
The more successful he was. My name's Joel.
Okay.
But I'm not someone who corrects people on my name.
Yeah.
So if you go Joel, I'm cool with that.
Oh.
I'll respond to it. I take it as like, you're just saying what's most comfortable to you. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And for a while when he was on the come up, I was getting Joel more and more and more. But he's leveled off. He's become a little unlikable.
Right.
And I'm one syllable Joel every day of my life now.
That's good. That must feel good. You got your identity back.
You know, it was nice to try on the Joel.
Yeah.
You know, I think Joel's here to stay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, you found your identity. The Sixers haven't.
Boom. Transition. Okay, so the NBA offseason is going to be crazy.
Oh, boy.
There's got to be a labor dispute.
This is a circus, my friend.
They're trying to make them start on December 22nd.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, it's physically impossible. If they do that, that's going to make me side with my Warriors title bet even more than I already did.
Yep.
We're going to get into that. We're really going to put it together a whole half-hour conversation about
that's crispy.
The Warriors' value.
Okay.
I want to put in the work. I want to put in the effort, and I might even make a couple statistical models for that bad boy.
Oh, can you do a montage when you're making all those models?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna need someone to take pictures because they are hard. You can't just like be taking selfies while you statistical model.
Hey, just writing numbers. But
yeah, you gotta act like you've been there before while building a confidence interval.
That's I don't even know what that is, and that's why you're the stat guy.
Yeah, you know, I've been smart for about 5 weeks now, Elon. It's really insufferable to be around.
He's been saying like so many like high college like master's program words. I was like, excuse me, sir, what is that? But it's okay. You don't make me look like an idiot. So
yeah, and really, it's hurting my life here. It's hurting my home life. I point out every time my fiance has a negative model of reinforcement for me, and like that's worse than any fight you could do.
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyhow, we have this crazy NBA offseason coming, and there's always odds. In this case, we're getting these odds from DraftKings. Mm-hmm. We always talk about this idea. I'm tempted to drive over the border and actually place some of these.
Yeah.
Because the odds for the NBA first overall pick are pretty wonky.
Yes. It's not good because no one knows. This is a very loosey-goosey draft. Just player-wise.
Exactly. So to put this draft in a nutshell, there's not one true talent.
No.
A lot of the NBA intelligentsia, they think the second wave of talent could be more promising than the first.
Yeah.
You know, COVID, they're not the only one who can have a better second wave, you know? Mm-hmm. And that doesn't jibe with these odds whatsoever.
No.
These odds, they have a prohibitive favorite in a draft where there's no prohibitive favorite. And so, according to DraftKings, Anthony Edwards, Georgia shooting guard, highest ceiling in this class of anyone, but also lowest floor, minus 235 to go first overall.
So 235. If I bet 50 or something like
you
that.
You bet $235.
Okay.
To win 100.
Ugh, that's awful.
That's awful. And you know what? You know who has the first pick? Minnesota. And you know D'Angelo Russell is a
ball hog.
Yeah, and Anthony Edwards is a ball hog.
Yeah.
And they can't play together.
Right.
So he's automatically disqualified from that first pick.
Oh, fun
and
fact.
Then
2013.
I see LaMelo Ball at plus 195, maybe, but probably not there.
Yeah. Well, let me say, in 2013, the first overall goes to the Cavs, Anthony Bennett. Do you want to be another Anthony that goes first?
No.
Oh, no. That's some bad juju right there. I have to pray to the spirits. I have to pray to God for that to happen.
No number one Anthonys.
No, you don't want it. You don't want it.
Yeah, and then you get into the rest of the guys, and the odds start to really coalesce. Because if these guys are all equal, then James Wiseman, you plus 785. You put down $100, you bring back $785. Doesn't that sound nice?
That sounds nice. Wish it would happen, but I don't think it will.
Well, I mean, we know Karl Anthony Towns is kind of afraid. Every young man in the NBA, they don't want to play center. It terrifies them.
Yeah.
So
you move. So you're telling me you go Pete. Why would you load? I guess you load that up so you let D'Angelo just do his thing. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because the other two options above him are redundant with the piece they went all out to acquire.
Right.
So Wiseman's got good value there. If you want a guard, people are falling in love with Denny Avija.
Right.
And,
I like him. He should. I want to trade. I want someone to go up and, because it still could work. You can have Debbie go first if someone wants to, give away the farm to get that pick. It can happen. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the way to bet on this, actually, you get rid of the first two, and I would actually place wagers on the 3 through 6 candidates here.
3 through 6.
Killian Hayes is 100-1.
Okay.
His reputation is amazing. It's just he's rocketing up draft boards. He may well be the best player right now.
Probably.
He may be the best player
so.
from this draft.
Yeah.
And he's 100-1.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta love that.
I think you go there. I think those international players are ready to go. Yes, I think LaMelo is there, but as I said, he can't shoot. And why would you pick a high round guy just because he knows how to pass well? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't work, and the bloom is off that ball brand.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna really take.
How do you have two brothers that can't shoot the ball?
Maybe they just had some really low dangling power lines in their backyard, so they had to adjust the shot to go against the lines.
So they had some adversity, and it was bad. That makes sense.
Yeah, if they hired a tree trimmer, their boys would be shooting 40% from 3 right now.
Oh man.
But there is talk of LaMelo Ball going to Charlotte. Would love to see that. Mm-hmm. Just. If I would pay any amount of money to watch Michael Jordan brush off LeVar Ball in that situation.
Oh, man, he would probably try to bar him after a while because he'll be yelling at Michael during a game. That will happen.
Yeah, the only way that relationship can possibly work out between LeVar Ball and Michael Jordan is if conversation somehow turns to wardrobe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
2 very poorly dressed men there. Oh, what do you mean? Capris made of denim with a backwards Kangol? I'm in.
He loves it. And if you're one of the best pass players in history, you can wear anything you want. Right? I would wear a onesie. I would just wear a onesie everywhere if I was the best at anything.
Okay, well, you got to start training for that onesie. Become the best at something, or maybe you start wearing the onesie first.
Oh, so it's just my thing.
Yeah, it's the secret. People are like, hey, why are you wearing that onesie? It's like, I'm trying to be the best.
Ooh, in the chat, a Ball Jordan feud is great drama for the NBA.
It is great drama for the NBA, and Michael Jordan deserves so much better, but he's mismanaged his franchise to the point where, it should become a public soap opera. That's the only way Charlotte can become relevant.
Yeah, they need something.
Yeah, I really want to I want to get out the thumb. I want to go on the Jersey Turnpike until my phone just allows me to download the DraftKings app, and then I'm sprinkling a little bit on these long shot first overall picks.
Yeah. You think it'd be a little crazy, but Obi, what's Obi's odds? Does he have
100-1? The Timberwolves, they're stupid. They think they're in win now mode. They got Jarrett Culver. They traded up for him last year, and they're like, oh, we've got a 4th really good player, and that'll get him 37 wins. Yeah, which means it's a really Minnesota Timberwolvy thing to do.
Right. They don't know what they're gonna do, and D'Angelo, I feel like he just ruins everything for me. I don't know why. He just doesn't. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. Oh yeah, I'm not shooting well, but okay, let me do more. Let me do 30 more. I think I got it.
Yeah, but he is cool, and he's
cool.
He is cool. I was out on him too, but he had a really great year in Brooklyn, and then he's kind of had to roll with the punches in some less than ideal situations.
True.
So now this is truly his ship because he's had a really tough start to his career.
Yeah,
and by that same token, no way are they going to take Edwards or Ball here. That's why you got to take these long shot bets.
Yeah, you got to go long shot.
Unless there's a trade, these long shots, I think they'll hit. Put $1 on everyone past Wiseman. You'll come out on top.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man, they would really hate you at the sports book counter.
Dollar, please.
$1 on
Oh, man, this a lot of teams are just in a bad way draft wise too. Like I saw a mock where New York moves up to 2. I can see that, but they were just a terrible run organization. Like, why would you try to do that right off the bat? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not going to work. And we did come up with a trade off the air.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these teams, you're not going to have any time to develop these rookies. Any rookies are essentially useless. Mm-hmm. And next year's the super draft, so you kind of want to be a little bad this year.
Yeah.
But if you want to be good, you can trade a pick for a veteran. How about this? This is crazy.
Yes.
Atlanta, they have number 6. They've got cap space. They tie that pick with Clint Capella.
Yeah.
They send it to the Warriors.
Well.
They get Draymond Green.
Well. Whoa.
Yeah, Draymond, he shows Atlanta how to win.
Yes.
Then Golden State has 2 of the top 6 picks. They're getting developed by Kerr. They just reload on the fly.
Yeah.
They pick Obi, they pick Wiseman, and then they've got just a couple of athletic bigs to really throw at Anthony Davis. I kind of like that.
That's fun. That's fun. Call him up. Call him up.
And Draymond, he's already moved on to like trying to replace Charles Barkley. Now he's in Atlanta.
He wants to replace Charles Barkley.
He'll be the next Charles Barkley. On that show, who else can pull that off?
Well, true. That's true. Jamelka says he's already put money down for the Warriors. So that's all day.
Yeah, listen
to win that. To win that all. So you're in the right boat. So hey, win now. Clint Capella on the Warriors would be perfect.
Be careful. Last time I ended up in the same boat as Jamoka, I ended up like Cousin Fredo.
Oh, it's going to be a goodie. It's going to be a wacky draft, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and isn't the NBA kind of rigging this so the Warriors win anyway?
Why?
That's what the expedited calendar suggests. Like the Lakers just went through like physical hell, and like having a new season start in 2 months probably makes me want to side with the guys who've been sitting out for a year.
So that doesn't make it like really like why? Yes, I understand. We've seen it from the NFL that the teams that were more established and didn't make too many moves that they were better like right out of the gate, right? But for the Warriors, they have people that were injured. So yes, they had time to recoup, but they've been off the court for a longer.
Yeah, but they've been fully healed because like those injuries that Klay Thompson had, that's a 2-year injury.
Yes.
And now it's going to be about 2 years when he comes back.
It's going to be about 2 years.
Steph wasn't that hurt.
Yeah.
And you know what? The Lakers played an extremely long and physical schedule, so it's going to favor this team that shoots threes, that's fresh-legged, that has new pieces to incorporate.
Yeah.
Like all the logistics of the schedule, they suggest a Warriors title to me, and somehow we'll have an even longer conversation about that coming soon. Let's talk about why we are here. We're here to talk about the official sports book of not just the Detroit Lions, not just Jamie Foxx, but the walk-on itself. BetMGM Sportsbook. They are live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, Nevada, New Jersey, and West Virginia. Mountain Mama. Are you betting on NFL or college football this season? Take some of that action to BetMGM. Why? Because for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for the Props Network listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM and use code WALKON20 to get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right. Just enter code WALKON20 and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is yours. Then and only then will you enjoy all that BetMGM has to offer, like earning $10 free bets every week in the Money Monday Club, multi-sport parlay boosters, and the new Edit My Bet feature that allows players to change their bet tickets after they are submitted. So you can try BetMGM with code WALKON20 now while the offers last. Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or someone you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Good read.
You could edit your bet. I like that.
Yeah, I was just like, make this one win. Well, last week we had some incidents here. We had a lot of fun, but it was a bit of a wild Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we had so much fun talking college football. We got to talk college football every week.
Yes.
So here for a more mild Wednesday, I would guess, is our Props Network college football correspondent, my good friend Eli Sairs.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Hey, Brian, Joel.
Hey,
Thank you
hey.
for having me on this so humbling of days.
Yeah, it's a mild Wednesday here.
Hey, look, I told you this was the best season ever. It is. It's unpredictable. Rutgers won against a Big Ten team. Everyone gets a free pass on their predictions, all right? I'm sorry. Everyone.
And what was that pick you were proffering last week?
I'm not sure exactly what proffering means, but which one? Penn State?
I was talking Raiders money line tied with Dolphins to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what? Did that not pan out?
No, it did. The Raiders lost by 25.
Okay, but I'm going to get him, Brian.
Yeah, get him.
Did the Dolphins lose this past weekend?
They were on a bye.
Oh, you're so smart. You know everything about football. Everything.
Well, I know not to bet on Penn State ever again.
Look, I told you it was going to be a tight one.
That's true.
And I think I said Penn State should win by a touchdown. I watched that game. Penn State should have won by a touchdown. They fought James Franklin. I don't know, man. James Franklin is a correctly paid Jim Harbaugh. I'd say still maybe a little bit more money, but it's like, okay, you have a good team. But I mean, more on that in a bit, I guess. Michigan surprised us a little bit.
Michigan, they came to play, but Penn State, they were obviously a really good team. I was impressed with the quarterback play.
On paper, yeah. I think Sean Clifford's great. He can run on you. I think they'll still be good. They're not going to beat OSU. I think they'll probably lose 3 games, but they're still a good team. They'll still be in it next year and all that.
And
it'll be better next year.
And that was just a great game. Like a lot of those quarterbacks, both Penix and the guy from Penn State, they were making like pretty difficult across the field throws. It was a really great way to hang out Saturday during the afternoon and kill some time.
And angrily text your friend. Hey, you dropped Penn though, right?
My big money. I put Ohio State with Wisconsin last week on the. What are you drinking, like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
After I've had some great victories.
That's a seltzer, man.
It's Wild Wednesday, I'm not doing just regular water. Penn State messed that up.
No, and last week I put so much money. I did a giant parlay, so I just played with the winnings.
I will say this: arguably, Indiana did not win. That play was so cool that, okay, sure, I'll allow it. God bless you, Penix, but I think it looked like it didn't.
It didn't.
I don't think it was. It's like so close that I get it, but I don't think he got that.
No.
I don't think he got that by a hair.
Yeah,
by a tiny bit.
But that's the great part about college football. You got some pimple-faced kid running the scoreboard. There is some home cooking in the refereeing, especially in the Big Ten.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But wait, hey, he's going to take that victory home and frame it up. So that's the only one he's going to get. So
Indiana
they'll be fine.
1-7 on the year. Before we get into all around the college football landscape, do you have any Trevor Lawrence trash talk?
Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna do that until recently. But did you have some? We're just roasting him, right?
Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 here.
I wish there was a giant picture of. Let me hear him.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence, he's a great prospect. He trends on Twitter every Sunday. Congrats, Trevor. You have something in common with a shitty SNL sketch.
I wrote, he somehow looks like a hippie who's scared to try weed. That's what he looks like to me.
And he does actually look like Sunshine from that Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah.
And after he's drafted by the Jaguars, he'll be sad to remember the Titans are in that division.
That's clever. I love that one. He looks like his dad owns Sweden. He looks like a ghost that haunts a surfboard shop.
He's a 5-star prospect with the face of a boy, the rare recruit who would appeal to both Paterno and Sandusky.
Oh, that's it. That's the one right there. That's the one right there.
I told you on Monday I'm going to fine you. That's a $5 fine. Right
Okay, I got a PG one. I'll put a better taste in your mouth.
That's $10 right there.
He looks like a character from the cartoon Rocket Power, which makes sense because he's only good because of the plays that are drawn up for him.
Oh,
nice. See the PG ones, they aren't fucking funny, are they?
No, this fucking high C commercial. He looks like he named his skimboard Bro.
And
he looks like Trevor is his first and last name. Trevor.
All right. So we have Trash Trevor. Brian, do you have any trash talks for Trev?
He's got good shampoo.
Yeah. He looks like Thor's Arm and Hammer. Am I right?
Yeah, he runs a Pantene Pro style offense.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, he's very white. He looks like he starts a lot of sentences with, "Look, it's definitely wrong he was killed, but."
Okay, and that's a wrap on the segment. We have Trash Trevor Lawrence. So I'm gonna be. I did really well last weekend. We're gonna be playing. I want to do let's pick 5 bets for the weekend.
Okay.
$25 on each. Let's start in the SEC. I am probably my favorite line that jumps out of me is Georgia minus 14.5 at Kentucky.
You thinking Georgia on that?
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Georgia off the bye, off the loss. That was a good team that ran into some bad luck. They can do
good team. Kentucky has a good defense. Georgia has a better defense. Mm-hmm. Kentucky has a faltering offense. Georgia has a better faltering offense. Like, I think that Terry Wilson, he's struggled a little bit recently, but Stetson Bennett, the 4th Esquire MD, His Highness, has also had some troubles, which I'm sure his servants felt the brunt of it over the past week.
Yeah, and I think just by virtue of it's an early game, noon on Saturday. Like, if you're the home team and you're an underdog, you're going to want some time to really get some wind in your sails. Empty stadium at noon. I think the much bigger Georgia team should just be able to roll.
I think Georgia's going to cover this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Easy. This is an easy one.
Yeah, so I'm going to put that in bold. And Georgia, I know they had a bad break, but I expect them to be the other team. They're going to be in the conversation for the SEC championship.
Yeah, it depends on how Florida reacts to their setbacks, to be honest. I think it's going to be Florida or Georgia.
And like, let's talk about Florida. What's even going on with that game? Is it canceled now?
Who knows?
And they've already had their.
I think it's happening, right? Technically, still.
I think it's like on the fence at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still pretty early in the week. We're recording. COVID. They had the coach who announced to the press, "Oh, we need to have our stadium full." And they've already had one game postponed to LSU. Now they're having a second game postponed.
Yeah, they just added 6 people from yesterday. 6 new students.
I still believe in Florida. It's all kind of calmed down because there's a second like, oh, are they the LSU of this year? They're not that good, but I do think Trask is one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the SEC. I think they're still going to compete. I think they're going to beat. I think Missouri's going to keep it competitive, but I think that what's the spread on that?
On that one, for the Florida game, there's no spread right now because everything that's going on. It was between 7 and 10, and I think it might end up around like Florida by 3.5.
Yeah, that sounds a little better than. I think Florida covers that.
Yeah, but you got to stay away.
I would be careful. Yeah, but I'm not careful. I'm a wild man.
It is Wild Wednesday. No. But just in this situation, and like having seen Missouri be on one of the right side of one of these insane upsets already this year, I'm probably not going to bet against Missouri.
Yeah, I believe in Drinkwitz as a coach. I think, that you're probably smart. I think Florida will win and cover, but it's probably smart to stay away from it. Yeah,
COVID games in the NFL have been very difficult to prognosticate. It's not really gone the way we've expected. Mm-hmm. So with college, it just tells me to stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have college courses too. So
wait, what?
They have the college. They have to do their courses.
Stupid.
They have to do their classes.
Wait, they got to take classes during all this bullshit?
I mean, they don't really take classes. So I went to a football power. I went to USC.
Yeah,
and I had a science class with one of the starting offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And in one of the lectures, he fell asleep and started touching himself while he was asleep.
Oh, no names, please.
I believe it was Thomas Heron was his name. And then that happened. And then the next class, a coach was there, not to keep him awake. He was allowed to fall asleep. But if he started touching himself while he was asleep, the coach would wake him up.
What?
That's the level of scholastic engagement from these athletes.
Was it Carroll?
It was not.
Was
It
he
like
trying to pay him?
It was some like video coordinator. It was like, yeah, I'm really going after my college football dreams.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Man, that really didn't get a response and derailed the segment horribly, huh?
Oh, it's okay. Y'all, I bombed a joke in there too, but it's all right. We're moving on.
Yeah, and so probably the most intriguing game in the SEC this week is LSU at Auburn.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I like LSU here. I think. What's the line on that? That's another 3.5, something like that.
No, 2.5. Less
2.5?
than a field goal, and like
Yeah.
like less than a field goal is them. That kind of if LSU's favored on the road like that, that's the odds maker saying we think LSU is a much better team.
Yeah.
Look, Auburn. How many more refs can they fit in their pocket? You know, like I don't like they've gotten by on. I didn't get a good look at the Ole Miss play where apparently one of the Auburn players like touched the ball, but they didn't get called on it. And I didn't watch it. I don't need to. It's a evil trash organization like that. You can never put it past them to do something slimy like that. So, I like LSU. There's uncertainty because they don't know if Miles Brennan is going to play or TJ Finley. I think either one of them still beats Auburn. Auburn has a great running back in Tate Bigsby, but they still believe in Bo Nix because they're morons.
Yeah.
And they're evil, and Gus is evil. Gus isn't evil. Gus is more like a hapless fool, I guess, who has dirred his way into a winning record somehow this season. But, I like LSU there.
Yeah, and it's
no
just
personal bias whatsoever.
Auburn for like 3 years straight, they've had a pretty hard to watch offense, and I just don't think you're going to be able to keep up in the SEC if that's the case.
Yeah.
If they just run the ball though, Bigsby is
He's great,
special.
but
He's something special.
Yeah, but Gus is also special in another way, and he doesn't he doesn't do what makes sense.
That is true.
And okay, a couple boring SEC games that I think they're
unheard of.
These aren't the glamour games, but I think there is good value in maybe betting on them.
All right.
I'm looking at Ole Miss at Vandy, minus 16.5.
I like that.
And then Arkansas at A&M.
You like that one?
Well, I know the track record between these two teams. Like A&M Arkansas games are always nuts. They're usually 3-4.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to say that. This is the game that I'm probably besides Cincy Memphis, I'm looking probably most forward to A&M. A&M because they're two underrated teams. The Razorbacks are underrated in the SEC. And I think A&M might be the most underappreciated team in the SEC. They're good. The Razorbacks have a really good defense. I think Felipe Franks is not the quarterback to take them to that next level. So I think that the Razorbacks cover, but that they don't win. Sam Pittman, I like him as a coach. I think he's a great fit for the Razorbacks, mostly because he looks like a warthog. But I think he's just great. I think I like watching the team. But yeah, I think that I like the Razorbacks to cover but not win.
Yeah, and then this week Alabama is probably just favored by too much. They're missing.
Don't take that one. Don't
Yeah.
take that one. Mississippi State's going to score on us without a doubt. Alabama doesn't have a good defense.
Yeah.
We're going to win handily, but I don't think we're going to cover whatever the spread is. What is the spread like?
31.
Yeah.
That's way too big.
Just to go back to Vandy.
Ole Miss. Take Ole Miss. Take Ole Miss without a doubt.
Just going to Vandy. Yeah, you got to take Ole Miss because Vandy has some COVID players too as well.
Yeah,
so.
we'll say that's why. Sure. yeah, that's it. That's why Vandy's going to lose big. No disrespect to Derek Mason and them, but they just don't have the guns.
Oh yeah, they're
Ole Miss. I think this is going to be a great confidence restoring game for Matt Corral. I think they're going to light him up.
Yeah, so right now I see Georgia, Ole Miss, pretty easy bets to make.
Yeah.
I think I might go LSU as well.
put some respect on A&M's name.
They're good. They're good.
I would. I mean, just the conditions of looking at those two teams makes me want to back A&M, but the track record, like last 5 years, has been a one-possession game, so that's one we sit out.
I'd say so, yeah.
And I think that's it going on in the SEC this week. Quickly, that Memphis-Cincinnati game, a lot of people are really liking Cincinnati by, I think, 6.5 in that one.
That's fair.
I
think that's fair.
They are a dynamic
it's gonna be fun.
offense.
Who?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Ritter had a better game this last game than the one before that, where he had a few picks. But look, Memphis is awesome. I think Brady White always rises to the occasion, but it's not going to be enough. Cincy, their defense is so solid. I think Cincy's going to win it pretty handily.
Yeah, they're favored by 7, so the line's gone up a little bit.
Oh, has it?
Yeah,
geez.
so that tells me that money's going on them just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe stay. I think Memphis is, or not Memphis. I think Cincy's definitely going to win. 7 though, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then another kind of non-Power 5 game that I just love this week is Coastal Carolina getting less than a field goal against Georgia State. How
So
is
fun.
that? How? That's an awesome team. They're so good.
Well, I'll tell you this. Georgia State, I think just according to the numbers, has the best offense in the Sun Belt and the worst defense. So they're going to hang around, but I think Coastal Carolina gets it done, honestly. I think Grayson McCall is a lot of fun to watch. They're a fun team. The Sun Belt rules this year. You take like the Raging Cajuns out and put them in the Big 12. They already have beaten a Big 12 team. Like I think they would be in the discussion for for the way Cincinnati is for maybe an outlier playoff team.
And the Big 12 does have some goofy teams. The Coastal Carolina would not be the most out of place team.
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia.
Hey, Letty Brown's a stud. Letty Brown rules.
Yeah, Texan is.
Wait, Texas what?
Yeah, Texas Tech. There's too many Texas universities.
Oh, yeah. That
Too confusing.
that word's all over the place.
Only one of them's got a clock tower. That's the only real school. Okay. Big Ten is probably the best slate. The biggest game in college football will be probably over by halfway through the first quarter, I think.
You think?
I think half. I think you're correct in spirit. I'd say I give it toward the half.
Yeah.
Ohio State at Penn State, and I don't want to live dangerously this week. I want to have kind of relaxing Saturday. I'll have a little out. If this were a juicy Saturday, I'd be back in that Ohio State money line for sure.
Yeah.
Are you not? You saying you're not going to bet on OSU to cover?
I'm not going to bet on OSU to win. I would maybe put 500 on OSU
You're not
to
going
win.
to bet on OSU to win?
It's just too much to put up.
Okay, so you're not feeling wild. Well,
It's just.
I think that you should take OSU to cover.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I would rather bet $25 on OSU to cover than bet 500 on OSU to win.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Penn State, pretty unimpressive
Yeah,
defensive
no.
showing last week to give up 2 2-point conversions to lose to Indiana.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a game where Penn State, they're going to be really fired up. They have an embarrassing
Yeah, I think they'll
loss.
be very fired up the first half. Very fired
They
up
could,
the first
yeah.
half. But Ohio State's just technically their defense is not impenetrable. It's not perfect, but we're just playing. The game is such that there just aren't that many elite defenses like that anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going to be throwing they don't have without J.K. Dobbins. They're going to be throwing a lot more. Teague and Trey Sermon have shown they're great at run, but I think they're going to just light them up and a lot of points scored, and I think they're going to cover.
And I think what really makes Ohio State a great program is that they're able to get these Alabama, LSU, Georgia level athletes and mold them into a traditional Big Ten kind of scheme. So watching that Nebraska game, I saw Nebraska just get worn down over the course of the first half, and then they were done.
It was It was never in doubt. I went back and watched it, and it never felt like it never felt like there was going to be an actual upset.
Yeah. So this one, Ohio State for sure. Maybe. Yeah, just take them straight up. Avoid that. No, Penn State, it seems like a sucker bet to me. They've adjusted the line on this one.
Okay.
4 points.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah, they went from -8.5 to -12.5, not related to any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So, just given the point differentials, you're seeing the Clemson, Alabama margins. OSU has to keep up with that.
Yeah.
They got the highest expectations of any team this year, it feels like.
And unfortunately, my biggest no-brainer on the board is the Michigan State Spartans against the Wolverines.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
That's going to be a shellacking.
Yeah, it's going to be a shellacking, but Michigan State is getting 24.5 points. Just given, Michigan's rival is Ohio State. They're fired up. That's all they care about. Michigan State's rival is Michigan.
You know the lay of the land very well.
Yeah, Michigan State always plays Michigan well, especially when Michigan's a better team than Michigan State, and especially with Michigan State getting embarrassed when they're still a program that can recruit pretty well.
Yeah.
They didn't use their horses the way they could be used last Saturday against Rutgers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think your instincts are correct on that. I think that they're going to be out for blood. I mean, I don't know. Rocky Lombardi didn't look like a world beater against Rutgers, I guess. But hopefully they'll be tighter. They'll be tightened up. They'll be aggressive. But I mean, Michigan looked better than we've seen them before under Harbaugh, right?
Yeah, but
Milton looked. He did really well. Credit where it's due. They looked really good. And again, I think they're going to be good and not quite elite, and they're still going to lose to the Buckeyes. But it might be closer than I originally thought it would have been.
Michigan's a team that. They're going to finish second in the Big Ten. Like I feel like that's clear after 1 week, given how Wisconsin's just been absolutely destroyed by COVID.
Oh,
we'll see. It might make them stronger.
Yeah, they're going to be like the Trump of the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're about to win again. What game were we just discussing?
Michigan State at Michigan.
State. Yeah, I think I would be great if these players could go out there and have a great season and win it all in spite of Jim Harbaugh. That would be awesome. I hope it happens.
And Michigan isn't designed to blow teams out. They blew out Minnesota because they got some weird bounces.
Oh, yeah.
And also, let's see how good Minnesota's defense turns out to be. We don't know.
Good point.
We'll see. But right now, I'm going to give credit where it's due, and I'm going to say Michigan is really good. That's what it seems like. But I think you are correct that Michigan State's going to cover.
Yeah, Michigan probably wins this game. It's probably they win by 10-14.
Yeah.
That sounds 10 to 14. Similar margin. I think it would be a little bit higher than that. I don't know. I'm thinking more in like the 34-27, 34-28 range or something.
34-28. That's still
a little sweat.
Easy cover.
Yeah.
I don't know. Michigan State can't score 34 against that defense.
I don't think Michigan State's going to win. Oh, you said Michigan? Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I think they might. I think it might be closer to 34-14 or 34-21.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
and then
something like that.
Next one, I'm pretty intrigued by this game. We had Iowa. They blew a winnable game against Purdue.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We had Northwestern. They blew the hell out of Maryland.
Well, Maryland looked like dog shit.
Listen, that's
Pardon
how
my
crazy.
French,
That's how crazy. That's how wild Wednesday was last week. That you took Iowa to win the Big Ten West. That was kind of crazy. But I think that
the most outlandish thing from last Wednesday.
I think Iowa's going to win and cover. Northwestern, they looked great. We're gonna see new versus stubborn old, because Kirk Ferentz, he likes that conservative old school football. He hasn't really when Northwestern has a more exciting offense than you.
Yeah,
come on, they're more cutting edge than you. There was a moment where Spencer Petras was like, you get either him when he's good, or the next series he might be bad. They had good Spencer on a run all the way down there, and there was some bullshit with the clock management where they had time to go for the end zone a couple times. Instead, they just kicked a field goal, I think, before the half ended. And I think Ferentz admitted that was a mistake. But in that moment, I was like, you're not going to win games like this. Spencer was hot. Let him sling.
Yep.
And I think that he's going to be more aggressive this week. And again, Northwestern, I don't know, maybe Peyton Ramsey really is great, but it was against Maryland, who has no D-line, no O-line.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
we'll see. I think they're good. I think Northwestern is good, but I think Iowa is going to win this one.
Yeah, and in a vacuum, I expect their long-term development of the O-line will show up in this game. They'll control the trenches on both sides of the football. That's what determines this game.
Yeah.
And they're getting less than a field goal. I love Iowa here.
I think so too. I think Iowa's a smart one.
And this is the Big Ten. In any other conference, a team with like Northwestern can go a little further than they can go here just by the size of the bodies on these offensive lines.
I'm excited for it. I like new Northwestern. I like all this. This rules. Yeah, great season. I'm loving this season.
Iowa gets Purdue. Iowa had 2 rushers go for 70. That's a bad offensive line from Purdue. So if that's all right, I think if Iowa's still having trouble on that D line, they're just gonna run the ball and just tire you out.
Yeah.
So
it's fair.
That could be the case. And is this crazy? Is Rutgers, Indiana a good game?
I'm going to watch the shit out of it. So no, but yeah, I think it might be. I don't know. They're both going to be coming in like real confident, Look, I don't know. That Rutgers team, I have no idea. Look, they look like an extremely coached up team. Like they were amped up. They were not missing tackles. They were on point. They were aggressive. Like all the things that he's gonna, Greg Schiano is gonna, going to take a while for him to recruit how he wants to, but as far as the way a coach can make a difference just right away, that was the best outcome I could think of.
Yeah, that was disciplined football. I saw some disciplined football out there.
Noah Vedril's not a slouch at QB. And Penix, we saw what he can do. It's going to be good. I like Indiana to win but not cover. What do you think? Is that safe?
The spread got taken down on this game. I think Indiana was favored in the teens, but it's just not up right now. I saw it at favored by 17 this morning, so maybe there's some injuries. There's something going on with it. This is probably a stay away just because both of them were involved in such weird matchups last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it is one to
monitor.
It's
probably a stay away. I should say, they're all probably, a lot of these are stay aways, but, I like to, wild one, stay at 7.
Yeah, and then ACC, Clemson, minus 31.5 versus BC. Clemmy looked a little bit sloppy last week.
Didn't they? They did. So
you think you got it?
I'm a little bit torn. Are they going to be so mad about that they come in there and just light it up and Dabo runs up the score? I don't know. I don't know. But also maybe they just again, this was nothing. People were making a big deal out of that performance against Syracuse. Clemson always does this. Once or twice a year, they just kind of shit the bed. They know that they're amazing, and they just kind of sleepwalk in there. There's nothing to be read into that, I think. They're still Clemson, but they might just sleepwalk into this and not really care. And Dabo is probably more distracted worrying about getting Trump reelected or something. So I don't know. I don't know if his heart is going to be in this game. And then Boston College, Phil Jurkovec is not like a flashy, amazing quarterback, but he's maybe an underappreciated one. I think he'll put up some points. Mm-hmm. I'd maybe probably say stay away. I lean toward BC barely covering, but I don't know, man. Clemson's going to run that score up, but I lean slightly toward BC covering. What do you think?
I would be inclined to go with a lot of favorites in the ACC. I would back Clemson here minus 31.5, and I would probably back Notre Dame by 20 over Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's gonna. Yeah, Georgia Tech does not have a good defense, and they can move the ball on you. They're not good in the red zone though, and I think Notre Dame's gonna. Yeah, I think Notre Dame's gonna.
Yeah, and I want them both to look good. I want Notre Dame to look great this weekend because we're thinking about next week.
Oh,
Clemson, Notre Dame. Oh. I don't care what the line is. You're bad. Clemson all the way.
That's going to be a good.
Yeah, this is going to be Miami versus Clemson redo. There's going to be a lot of talking up leading up to the game. There's going to be a lot of upset talk. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, with Notre Dame
it's not going to happen.
Notre Dame's in the ACC this year, and the ACC, the other teams right now, they only exist to be propped up next to Clemson and just
the ACC sucks. The second best team's Miami, and then maybe North Carolina. But No, Notre Dame doesn't stand a chance. They struggled against. I'll give them that struggle against Louisville because Louisville's been all over the place. But no, Clemson's gonna destroy them. I think.
Yeah, they're gonna lay a big old egg in that game. They're gonna be all hyped, too hyped, and then just have a sugar crash. And it's gonna be awful.
Probably my favorite line in the ACC is I think UNC. They've got a great coach. They've got Mac Brown, right?
I like Mac Brown. I think he's going to add another. He's got a lot of wins in his career, and I think he's going to add another one.
And Mac Brown, all he cares about is getting 5-star prospects. So that goes a long way in the ACC. It's not like a lot of football machines. They had a great win against NC State last week, coming off the loss against the Seminoles. Man, if you
got that defense back in shape. And Sam Howell's another one like Jurkovec, who I think is a little bit sloppy and inconsistent, but just maybe not appreciated as much as he should be. I think he's really talented. They have a good run game, good O-line. Yeah, I think they're going to win easy.
Yeah, UNC by less than a touchdown at Virginia. That's something I think I'm going to back there.
Yeah.
And then Big 12, we have maybe the biggest game of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma State at Texas.
Can't wait.
Oklahoma State, the line's really scary to me in this one.
Oh, yeah. Run the fuck away from this one. Jesus.
And you would just look at this in a vacuum. You've seen what Oklahoma State does. They're only favored by 3.5 points.
Yeah, there's a lot of the thing is Sam Ehlinger is good, and Texas offense is so good sometimes that you never know what you're going to get. I could see them just being on point and pulling it off and beating them, but I like Oklahoma State here. I like them to remain the best team in the Big 12.
Yes.
I think Spencer Sanders is really good. I think they're going to win. I like their win against Iowa State. It felt like kind of old school, well-balanced, You had your defense. You had some conservative play when it needed to be done. Smart football.
Totally agree.
I would not lay money on this game, but I like Oklahoma State to win by a field goal. But they're favored by what, 3.5, something like that.
3.5.
So don't fuck with that. But I think they'll win by like a field goal.
And this is a case where like Texas being a public team actually gives them more value here. Like if Texas wasn't Texas, Oklahoma State would probably be favored by around a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But all these bets we have, everyone on the bets has a great running scheme. So you bet with the running. You bet with the running. That's the way you
pro
go.
Gamblers. You tell me.
I mean, college, I feel like you just base it on the lines.
Yeah.
Like whoever is traditionally a better school can recruit better, and they'll have better offensive and defensive linemen. Like,
True.
I think the formula for having a good time betting on college football is pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a new thing, but watching the games helps. Like, just you sometimes like more so than like the final score. You see like, they got those in garbage time. You can see things that the write ups don't necessarily tell you.
Yeah. Especially like early in the game, just like how they're
seeing
executing,
how they
and
react.
stuff.
You can get a feel for the intangibles and the character of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, that Michigan game was more lopsided. The score looked more lopsided than the game was.
Yes.
That Bama Georgia game was more lopsided than the game was.
Yeah. And like with Auburn, they have these wins, but you wouldn't know that it was all because of being weaselly, you know. And if you know that they're a bunch of weasels, slimy
Auburn
weasels,
dig.
then you know what's going on. You can be wiser with your money.
Hatred for Auburn, and I totally understand.
whoa,
hey now, hey.
An Alabama shirt. Whatever. I would never hate on Auburn. I love the kids. I love the players. I hate all the everything else.
Everything else. The Tigers, the color scheme.
Yes. Oh God.
Everything else. But there can't be that many Auburn fans in Alabama, right? It's Bama country.
Yeah, for the most part, but they exist. Little contrarian assholes.
Yeah, if you go to like a Walmart, what percentage of the gear is Bama? What percentage is Auburn?
I mean, Walmart is just like a soulless corporation, so they're just it's more Auburn than where I was, at least more Auburn than there was actual Auburn fans. I guess in our mall we had the Bama Auburn store. It was just a store. You know how they had stores in the malls back then, and half down the middle of it was one side Auburn, all orange and blue, and then you can go into the left side where it's all crimson for Bama. Yeah, I used to just go there and look at shit.
Hey, I mean, I spent some Saturday afternoons in a Steve & Barry's. It was a good time. Everything was $20.
It's great. It's great. You get a lot of good stuff out of there.
And should we back SMU versus Navy by 13?
No, you should not. No, you should not. There are SMU rules. I love SMU, even with the loss to Cincy, but I think they're gonna maybe have some trouble with that triple option. To be honest, I'd stay away from it.
And then I guess the last one I am looking at, I think Oklahoma is a stay away versus Texas Tech. They're getting slightly more than 2 touchdowns.
That's a stay away for you?
Stay away.
That's too big, right?
I will say I'm not on the let's rehabilitate Oklahoma train, I guess. A lot of people were saying like, oh no, they're good now, but like, I don't know, look who they're saying their defense is much better, but it was against TCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
TCU, Texas Christian, you look like I don't know. The strength of Christ is not in that offensive line. All right, like people of Texas, direct your prayers away from Dak Prescott and send them to the Texas Tech offensive line. The TCU offensive line because they need it. And I think it made Oklahoma look better than they are. I still kind of don't buy them as like they're gonna like win out or anything like that. But I do think that they're more than 2 touchdowns better than Texas Tech.
Yeah. As a TCU nun, I believe in that prayer for the offense.
He praised LaDainian Tomlinson.
I understand. Keep away because Texas Tech, no one thought they were going to beat West Virginia last week, And like, I don't know, Henry Colombi is no slouch, but I don't know, Matt Wells has just been kind of a disappointment there. I don't think they're going to – I would like it if they did, but I think that Oklahoma covers there personally.
Yeah, but Oklahoma, at this point of the year, I've seen them get upset. I haven't seen enough for me to favor them.
They are just kind of
to favor a team by more than 2 touchdowns on the road, I have to think they're a great team. I know Oklahoma is a great hype machine.
Yes.
Spencer Rattler has not proven to be
Not
up to
really.
par of the previous guys.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
So, yeah, Oklahoma.
They're probably a stay-away team in general. You're probably right about that. Yeah.
So this week in college football, we're going to go Georgia versus Kentucky. Slightly more than 2 touchdowns. We'll probably buy a half point there.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go Ole Miss at Vandy. Mm-hmm. We're going to go Iowa over Northwestern. And we're going to go UNC at Virginia. I think we're going chill. I'll put $25 on each of these.
Oh,
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then fuck it, Ohio State.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, Ohio State's gonna.
You're not allowed to get mad at me. You're not allowed to get mad at me though. If they pull a Penn State and fuck up or anything, I think they're gonna cover. I think you'll be fine. Too.
No, the Penn State thing, I wasn't mad at you. That was an infuriating gambling loss. But luckily, the Lions won their game the next day in the same fashion I lost that.
That was a great moment. Yeah.
Really, we had a great weekend for falling over the goal line.
Too many times.
Football players looking drunk. That's what we're here for. Do you want to? I'm going to do an ad read. Do you want to stick around? I'm just going to talk a little NFL, and then we're going to set sail.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Okay, so do you know the place where bets begin? Well, that is thepropsnetwork.com. No, the Props Network is not a sports book. It's where smart bettors and new players go before the sports book. Why? Because the Props Network has a few things that all bettors need: exclusive sign-up bonuses, reporting on weekly promos, free betting picks, and live odds comparison for every football game. A visit to thepropsnetwork.com before placing a bet guarantees that you'll be wagering with the best available bonuses and getting the biggest possible payout if your bets hit. This week at the Props Network, you'll get $30 free bets, no deposit required from Unibet. And then you can get 4 risk-free bets worth up to $1,000 at PointsBet with code BONUSPROPS. And you'll get up to a $250 bonus credit when you make a new account at BetRivers. And, if you're on the Colts, bet against Rivers. And you can get all these deals and more at thepropsnetwork.com. Must be 21 or older to bet online. If you or someone you know have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Boom. Love doing that. So we are going to make some money on college football on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to have some money out on the table. We've been doing very well, so we're going to place a lot of smaller bets this week.
Sprinkle it around the lawn.
Yeah, we're going to have probably 5 or 6 $25, $50 bets. That's my plan.
All right.
Starting off 2-unit, we discussed it. Panthers over Falcons.
Easy.
Falcons, they blew a lead. They can't bounce back from that.
Their rubberness is gone. There's no rubber there. They can't bounce back. It's gone. It's gone. Rubberness? That's what I said? Yeah.
Yeah, the rubberness.
Yeah, the rubberness.
It's an advanced metric.
Yeah. see all these fancy words Joel's saying, they're rubbing off on me.
And then this week, we've got an SEC line in the NFL. You love to see it. The Jets are going to Kansas City. We have one of the biggest spreads in NFL history.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
How much are the Jets going to win by?
-19 according to Vegas. And it's weird if you actually go back.
That's big for NFL?
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's like top 10 biggest in regular season
College,
history.
baby, you know what's up.
And if you go back and you look at spreads this size, the team that's favored usually covers.
Wow.
So
A little too predictable for my likings. I'll stick with college, thank you, but this is fun.
Yeah, but this week for my little gambler video, I made 19 points to take the Chiefs and the points. So, yeah, I mean, it's
happening.
With the spread that big, you might as well enjoy that. And then
Going against your USC brother, huh?
yeah, my USC brother, Sam Darnold. We both failed in New York, it turns out. We did not live up to our USC promise. Sam, come on over. You can sit on the patio because I don't
Mark
trust...
Sanchez is flipping some burgers for us.
Oh, you guys say my name? Oh.
That's the crew there, actually. Me, Mark, and Sam. And then, so that's going to be fun. You got to do the Peninsula Parlay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's every weekend. It's the Michigan money line, and you buy a point on the Lions. So the Lions, they're underdogs by 3 points at home. Is you buy it to 4. A lot of people, they've been coming out of the woodwork to recommend the Lions to me, and this bet's going to lose.
Yeah.
Lions are in trouble this week.
The Colts are going to play some hard defense.
The Lions don't have an interior defensive line.
Yeah.
The Colts, their guard, Quentin Nelson, is the best player in football.
That sucks. So the Lions are bad this year.
They're okay. They're like the best of the bad teams.
Okay. Cool.
They have a passing game. They have a run game.
They can hang around.
Their overall play calling is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, no.
They run it with Adrian Peterson every first down. Everyone knows it's coming. DeAndre Swift is like...
I love DeAndre.
He's clearly a game changer, and he's like the backup. They won't give him the touches he deserves.
That sucks. Why not? Peterson's just more established there?
We're old school. We're smash mouth football.
Shit. Get out of here.
They try and establish this identity of being tough, and you run that like idiotic tough guy football.
Yeah.
So you're in 3rd and 8 the entire game.
And that's great. And that's just great play calling. Let me look at my 3 and 8 sheet. It is awful.
Yeah, and
I think I didn't know Adrian Peterson was with them.
He signed like August 23rd and became the number 1 running back in a matter of weeks.
And coming from
Washington.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, they cut him for cap reasons. They couldn't afford to pay him, and like he's in Detroit now, and which is fine in short yardage situations.
That's your guy.
Yeah, he should instead of like playing for the Lions, he should just go home, spend time with his son, so he remembers what it's like to beat someone.
No. Oh, Eli, you're fine too. I'm finding you. Jeez Louise.
Hey, I made the same joke in Detroit Lions fan therapy, so great minds. Mine was, the last time, DeAndre Swift deserves to start. The last time Peterson needed to switch this badly, his son had seriously misbehaved. So
nice.
Fine.
That rules, dude. That rules.
That's $20.
That's hilarious. Wait, we get fined for?
I'm fine in both.
For problematic. Oh no.
I like a tease.
Yeah.
I like a tease.
Tease it up.
I'm gonna bet one of the teams in the tease. I'm gonna bet 2 units on the Titans. -5.5 at Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
Every Cincinnati defensive lineman is pissed off. They're trying to get off the team.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They don't like the coach.
Are the Bengals bad this year too?
Bengals are bad. Joe Burrow is like...
He's doing good though, right?
He's doing good.
What I've watched, I've kind of been like, okay, I'm glad he's not winning, but he's still like, sort of like, what's his name with the Chargers?
Yeah, like Herbert.
Like Herbert.
Yeah.
It's like they're losing, but obviously this is a very good quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just traded Dunlap to the Seahawks. So you're going to have a defense that's kind of probably not happy. He was one of the staples in the defensive line of Cincinnati for a long time, and then he's out. So I think you're just going to have the coworkers are going to be a little bit upset about that.
Yeah, you have both defensive tackles are, a little bit upset. The defensive end has been shipped out of town. So, and this is Tennessee. They're just going to run the ball.
Right.
Tennessee's great.
Yeah, again, their defense
Love
is
Derrick
terrible, but the Bengals' offensive line is so bad it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And Derrick Henry just run. Derrick Henry, like when he gets tackled, it looks like a crowd toppling a statue. It's really, he just goes down and he falls forward, and it's a momentous occasion. Like
that's why we call him the Saddam Hussein of the NFL.
That's allowed. That's good.
Yeah,
no fine. Okay,
That's no fine. That's good.
Is it because he was exposed against Pitt? Kind of a stretch, but you get it.
I got it. That's good.
So I'm gonna do that. So that's 1 unit Chiefs, 2 unit Titans. I'll probably do a little tease with them, the Packers.
Great.
And then, just in the sake of having money on the table, I don't think this will be a great way to make money.
Huh.
But if you were to take the underdog in the Steelers against the Ravens and the Pats against the Bills, those are 2 good games. I expect at least one of those games to come down to a field goal.
Oh yeah, that's a divisional game that will. It's the script of a divisional game. Come down to a field goal. That's just how it is, especially for AFC North type teams.
Yeah, and I feel like you're going to at least break even on that. So if you just commit to taking both underdogs in that game, I think you'll go at least 500, and then if you get some breaks, you go 2 for 2 there.
Yeah, I think it's safe. It's safe, and you might win. That's the fun thing. That's the fun thing about sports betting. You might get it. You might get it. This is what I'm learning. It's great.
This costume's got to be permanent.
Yes. I was about to say, like, I kind of forgot that it was like we were near Halloween. It was just like, is Brian okay? Like, are we talking about this? Like,
I'm good. I'm good. I found it. No, it's good. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Where's yours?
I wore a Bane mask, but you couldn't really hear me talking into a microphone. I sounded like Bane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I forgot. I looked for it, Joe. I couldn't find. I was gonna bring a houndstooth hat, but I couldn't find it because I was rushing out. But
That's okay. See, it doesn't sound good at all. And they did point out, like, most people consume this as a podcast. This is not in our best interests.
Right. So he took it off, and then I'm just the nun in the TCU nun over here. So
Oh, now that TCU line is so funny. Now that I realize that you're a nun.
yeah, see,
Cool, man. I thought you were just
it's the wig. I needed the wig. Yep, you're right.
Well, thank you, Sister Mitchell.
Anytime.
Bless you, sister.
Anytime, brother Eli.
And I do the biggest mismatch down
Joel,
the
take it off, Joel. Take it off. Even on Wild Wednesday.
Wow, too wild for Wednesday.
Too wild for Wednesday.
Too wild.
I'm going to back the Saints against the Bears.
Oh, God, I hope so, man.
I've been burned on the Saints
The
more.
Saints, I think they should be so much better than what they're doing right now.
They should be.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
bring in that little Mormon dipshit every other play, run it into the ground.
Well,
like,
okay, that's a fine.
Hey, this guy gets hurt every other month. We better, prop up our franchise quarterback with him.
When they run red zone plays for him, it's like, oh, you don't believe in Drew Brees. That's what it just screams to me. I don't like that. You have your
You got to
QB.
believe in Drew Brees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't bring in Taysom just because he can run. Get
You're a
out
nun.
of here.
You heavily believe in things for way too long.
Well, you got to. Well,
I'm a good Christian boy, by the way. That was just a joke.
And
Sorry.
I mean,
everyone.
a nun, we all know the Saints helped the Catholic Church with some cover-ups, so who day, am I right?
Who day? Who day?
Yeah, the bounty was put out against some altar boys, it turns out.
Hey,
Oh my God, that's
What?
funny.
Jesus.
That's really
$30.
No, that's
Goodness
funny.
gracious.
No, I counteract that. You're fine. I say.
I'm fine and I'm fine, They're very close. So we're going to take the Saints, and we're going to take Seattle to bounce back against San Francisco. And then
Yes.
if you're doing well, if you just want to enjoy the Sunday and Monday night games, they're terrible. Just take the favorites.
Yeah.
Eagles, Buccaneers. No reason to talk yourself into any of the underdogs there. That's where my money will be on Saturday. That's where my money will be on Sunday. We're putting out around $350 this weekend, and I feel pretty good about it.
What's the Monday game for NFL?
It's going to be Buccaneers at Giants.
Oh, okay.
And then, did you follow James Madison University last year?
No.
So you don't know the book on DiNucci?
Please.
The book on DiNucci.
The Cowboys.
It sounds like something a nun should be telling me about.
The Cowboys are so hurt. They're starting DiNucci from James Madison at quarterback this week.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be terrible.
He's going to be terrible. They brought back Cooper Rush, their old secondary quarterback, but he's in COVID protocol. But they got another quarterback. They got another arm. It's what a terrible situation in Dallas. I just feel bad for everybody.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones is too powerful for an owner of them to take a national TV game away from him. So we're all stuck with watching the Cowboys Sunday night.
Yeah, there's no flex in there.
And this is the first Sunday where it's only NFL games, so we're stuck with DiNucci and the Cowboys. This is hell.
That is hell.
Fuck
Oh,
that.
hey now. not hell.
Want a real
It's
game?
paradise, my friend.
Want a real game? Watch the Oklahoma State Cowboys the day before.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You know, there's no roof on Texas Stadium, so Brian could watch the Oklahoma State Cowboys play.
Wait, you can for prayers and all that.
Yes, yeah.
They got to be able to reach the Lord.
They gotta touch it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
The Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Is it true?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think we're doing here?
I guess we're amassing money, so this is prayer.
And I'm gonna take that Hail Mary and put a Hail Mary on all those bets right there.
Wow.
We got Mr. Knowledge over here.
There you go.
Mr. Fact, Sister Fact too. Over here.
Sister back to
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, it's been a wild Wednesday, as you could tell. Thank you for marching along with the walk-on. Thank you to my man, Eli Sairs. What's your handle?
At Eli Sairs, ELISAIRS. If you want to check out my podcast, The Roast Ghosts, it is on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and iTunes.
Yeah, give that a check out. He does lots of great stuff. He's this funny all the time. He's amazing. Shouts to Brian over there and the John Wilkes.
Whoa.
And, for the Props Network and the Walk On, I'm Joel Walkowski, walking off.